honour guard for the Bodenstown churchyard.
Yeah.
For the Minister of Defence of the day, Lena Reith, and the grave of Wolf Toll.
Okay.
And as a result of that, they were well trained for the that type of ceremonial activity.
Mm.
And then when it was announced that President Kennedy was visiting Ireland in June of that year, the cadets were involved, when the itinerary was issued subsequent to that, it was decided that the cadets would be involved in the Arbour Hill ceremonies. So the same guard of honour, more or less, was detailed from that involved in Bodenstown was involved with the
in Arbour Hill. How much preparation was involved, actually, given the significance of the visit of the President?
Well, at that time, the 36 cadet class had most of their training done. Their syllabus was almost complete. So they were in a good position to, and there was plenty of time for training. So we had plenty of opportunity, and we got them to a very high standard. So by the time we went up to Arbour Hill for the ceremonies in end of June, they were well tutored and well organised, but they were well trained, so there was no nervousness about it.
And we're now 50 years later, actually. Do you think the cadets and the staff of the military college were aware of the significance of the Guard of Honour?
Well, they were very much aware of it, because it was a great honour for the country when the President Kennedy was the first American president to make a official visit to the country. So it was it got a lot of publicity, and obviously the cadets were aware of that, and the military college was aware of that they were going to be in the limelight. So they were going to make every effort to make sure that everything went well. Mm-hmm. So it did on the day as well. I recall very well the day of the Guard of Honour, or the Honour Guard, and the laying of the wreath by the President. It was a lovely fine day. We took up our positions in good time, and he arrived with his retinue, and we when our time to do our drill, everything went very well. And when the ceremony was over and the wreath laying was over, he was leaving the area of the ceremony, and he stopped in front of me and he said to me, "Lieutenant, congratulations, that's the finest honour guard I've ever seen. I would like you to convey my thanks and congratulations to the members of the guard." So we were obviously very flattered and delighted with that kind of praise from the President of the United States, who himself had been a member of the armed forces during the Second World War, and was taking honour guards, I suppose, on a very regular basis right around the world. So we were very delighted with that. So it went very well. So when the President went back to the United States and he looked for a record of his film record of his trip to Ireland, and when there was no indication of any sign of the cadets being involved in any of the activities, so he asked, was there any record of the cadets at Arbour Hill? So when the word came back here, then of course there was no record of the event. So obviously what an Irish solution to an Irish problem was to do a retake. So by that time the 36th cadet class had been commissioned. The boys, the cadets who were involved in Arbour Hill, they were commissioned and dispersed around the Defence Forces. So that we had to go and get the 37th cadet class and train them in the funeral drill. And that took some time because it's quite a complicated drill. And it went quite well. And then when we had them ready and all, we brought them up to Arbour Hill, and the RTE came along and filmed the drill. We would never have been ready to answer the call to go to the United States for the funeral if it hadn't been for the fact that they hadn't recorded the cadets. The fact that they hadn't recorded the cadets in Arbour Hill the first time. Otherwise, the 37th class wouldn't have been trained for the event, because the training came in their second year of their training. So it was by ironic turn of events that they were ready to answer the call and go to the United States for the funeral ceremony.